Welcome to African in New York. My name is Douglas Miller, and today we have a very special guest. Her name is Queen Mother. She's known all over Harlem. Welcome to the studio, Queen Mother.
Thank you for having me today.
I'm very glad to have you here. So, Queen Mother, Dr. Blakely, she's known for her role as the community mayor of Harlem. And I just want her to first introduce herself and talk a little bit about her role as the community mayor of Harlem.
Yes, as the community mayor of Harlem, I'm the first woman to hold that title. And as you know, Harlem always governed itself before we were able to vote in the United States, and many of us, many years lived in the community. Throughout time, I would say, our spiritual energy has always been in the village and now the city of Harlem. And with Harlem having its own leadership, and as you know, that we had the first black mayor to serve in the city of New York, which is Mayor David Dinkins, was elected. And community mayors were those that had been dedicated in the community. Our former president, Roosevelt, was a community mayor. Many of those that became mayors in the city of New York and around the United States were community mayors first. Community mayors started as looking at those who are dedicated in the community and was brought forward as community leaders.
Yeah, so you know, everybody in Harlem knows who Queen Mother is, because I was talking to people the other day and they're like, oh, Queen Mother doesn't stay only in the office. She walks along 125th Street at least every day to talk to people, to know their concerns and their issues. Is that true?
Yes, I believe the office for me is in the streets of the community. So I don't tell people that I have an office, they have to come to see me. It's up for me to go see the people. That is my responsibility.
Yes, so one of the things that you do is that you advocate for rights of the people of Harlem at one point. And you know, one of the issues now that like everybody is talking in Harlem is about affordable housing and gentrification. So are you getting involved in those issues as well?
Well, not only that, I have sued from the building that I took for women in need with children over 30 years ago, and out of nowhere, out of the blue, you have predatory lending and mortgage fraud that I began to fight.
Right, so I mean, this is Queen Mother. She's there to help you. You have heard it by yourself. If you have any issues, she's there, so you can find her in Harlem, you know. And then one of the interesting thing, Queen Mother is not only in Harlem. She goes everywhere trying to do her job. And one of the roles that she has, another role, is she works as a goodwill ambassador for Africa. I mean, can you tell us more about this as well?
Well, being a goodwill ambassador for Africa for many years, and on the road through elders like Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, and Mwalimu means teacher. And he really has shaped my life, even going into education, along with another great woman, former Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm. the first woman to run for president in the United States of America. And so they have shaped me. And looking at education, the training of our young people, and for them to understand the responsibility they have for their own lives, and education should be one of the strong pillars in life. So I had the opportunity of spending time with Mwalimu in East Africa and also West Africa as a Fulbright scholar. And he became my African Baba.
Right, and then you were mentioning about the water projects.
Yes, another project where women, I hear the voices of women that may not be the voice within inside the institution of the United Nations. So as a Queen Mother, I roam the villages and townships, and I travel just like I walk the streets of Harlem to hear what the community wants and to hear their voice. So their voice is no longer powerless and voiceless to those that are in power to make decisions and judgment and negotiate the concerns and the needs of the community, townships, and villages. So what came to my ears on the border between Kenya and the neighboring country, the women saying, Queen Mother need to assist us with water. The women are saying, take the buckets off their heads so they can empower themselves and they could speak for themselves. But Queen Mother, the bucket is heavy for us walking miles just to get fetch water every day.
Right.
Make it easy to put the designs and water buildings within the neighborhood, within the community itself, talking about the wells or the spring waters, how they can build the infrastructure within the community, within the villages, within the township, so they don't no longer have to spend the day walking with water on their backs. So let's take the water off of their backs.
Good. So you also have a foundation which is called New Future Foundation.
Yes, yes.
So can you talk a little bit about the foundation and what it does?
Yes, the foundation has been really run by young people. It's for youth, through youth, by youth. I was a youth myself coming out of a Roman Catholic convent. And I started the foundation with nothing. The foundation is 46 years old, as long as I've been at the United Nations. And with one of our great women from Liberia, Dr. Angie Brooks. And you know, the first president is from Liberia, which is Sir Leif Johnson of Liberia, president of the country. Well, that was her mentor. Dr. Angie Brooks was the first woman to hold the role at the United Nations as the secretary under, what do you call it, the president of the General Assembly of the United Nations. And that was my godmother. When I first went to the UN, you really didn't have that many women there. You had mostly men in the UN in the 70s when I arrived at the United Nations. And she was the one that mentored me of diplomacy and protocols and the workings of the United Nations. I couldn't have had a greater African mother, Dr. Angie Brooks, in my own training. And with that engagement and involvement and establishing the New Future Foundation, we're involved with internship with young people. So the working of the United Nations is what we do with young people.
Yeah, this is very important when you're mentioning about the youth. It is my understanding that you know, we have a lot of issues with the youth in New York City, in Harlem, and one of the things that your organization or your foundation is doing is trying to educate the youth so that they can keep away from trouble. And you know, it is my understanding that you are using sports like soccer in order to educate these youth. So can you just, you know, talk a little bit about this soccer initiative and how does it work?
Yes, first thanks to our former Secretary General Kofi Annan. I would consider him my big brother.
Yeah.
Whether he wants me to be his big sister, that's another issue. But he is my big brother, my African brother. And when he was our Secretary General, I brought to his conscience about street peace. Everything spills over in the street, the killing, and small arms, and how that relates to the community of Harlem. If you're talking about the different youth gangs in the community, how does that relate, the killing within the streets with small arms? And so in talking to him, we wanted to have a walk from Harlem to the United Nations, which he supported, which our organization, New Future Foundation, did the World Street Peace Summit. And young people came from the World Conference of Youth, joined us in Harlem. And so we wanted to constantly develop that, and our young people have been at the World Cup, which was held this past last year in Brazil. Sports. So we're talking about a sports camp in Harlem that we want to mobilize and organize, and those who are dealing with soccer to come and work with us. We're looking for soccer players, and other players can lend toward what we want to do with the young people. Right now, some of our young people are getting ready to go to Brazil.
You know, Queen Mother doesn't stop there. You know, she also deals with women, and there is the diaspora of the women, or women of the diaspora, something like that. And what do you do, and how do you associate with the women of the diaspora?
Well, we're just coming out of our World Conference on Women, which is Women of the World. And quite naturally, the women of the diaspora is a part of the women of the world. And so in Harlem, it was the largest conference coming out of Beijing, China, this past March. Women's Day, March the 8th, in Harlem, we had over 2,000 women at the Apollo Theater on 125th Street.
And now this is African in New York. We welcome Africans and African Americans of high achievement to come here and tell us their stories. And today we had Queen Mother, the community mayor of Harlem. This is Del Gracious Melo, the host. I'm saying goodbye and see you next time. And before I close, I don't want to do injustice. I have to shake the hand of Queen Mother.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having Queen Mother.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Rusha mikono juu ndani ya square. Wima yaga yaga start wananywea. Lazima niende platinum or this year. Who I swear, never be a player. Rusha mikono juu ndani ya square. Wima yaga yaga start wananywea. Lazima niende platinum or this year. Who I swear, never be a player. Naingia ndani ya game fagilia. Screamo hiyo please uso na beat. Nimetia kwenye dunia shikin hits. La wafukia became sis la wafukia. Machizi wengi unalifagilia. Storyteller na shade tears kwa furaha limeingia. Kilele limefikia wazushi la wafukia. Wenye chuki la wachukia. Jaga jaga la wadandia. Kisha la wakati kia. Machizi wengi unalisikia. Linatesa Tanzania kwa 100%. Linako Italian jo ivo minakodi. Blizi nicheze kwa nabia. Kauna nitakunibia. Na hapa nitakununulia. So we tell her right here. Rusha mikono juu ndani ya square. Wima yaga yaga start wananywea. Lazima niende platinum or this year. Who I swear, never be a player. Rusha mikono juu ndani ya square. Wima yaga yaga start wananywea. Lazima niende platinum or this year. Who I swear, never be a player. Fans sana yangu bila utani. Hili si la zamani ni jipya kwenye msa. Lipo tight, that's for real. Watu wengi wanalipia. And for me that's ideal for she's a little free. Screamo yeah bila kufia. Yaga yaga wanalipia. Mademu wanang'ang'ania. Mashishi wengi wanalisifia. People na wengi so kina mwezi yoni me blast studio jumuika kwa dance machizi wanaziwa so yaga na bobo from CD to radio from CD to video bigi pigo kata kiuno muite na muuno simcheza you know so itajo hivyo yo yeah rusha mikono juu and ndani ya square wima yaga start wananywea lazima niende platinum or this year I swear never be a player rusha mikono juu and ndani ya square wima yaga start wananywea lazima niende platinum or this year I swear never be a player rusha rosa wagumu na mamisho for sure hata na skill na hata maposo bibi piga linasumbua nimetanda kachanga lua kama mzushi la kubandua kisha la rusasu yaga nenda kubili na tesa paka salina na kutoa pesa kada robeli nilike ndani ya fani ndani ya fani so tell me ask kali na warusha watu wa one from ghetto mpaka ras nina blast then again niko hapa na make cool yaga alina shinde sisi la kuna video muize na wakudia kwa furaha na shit tears yaga linasizia yeah rusha mikono juu and ndani ya square wima yaga start wananywea lazima niende platinum or this year I swear never be a player rusha mikono juu and ndani ya square wima yaga start wananywea lazima niende platinum or this year I swear never be a player rusha mikono juu and ndani ya square wima yaga start wananywea lazima niende platinum or this year I swear never be a player rusha mikono juu and ndani ya square wima yaga start wananywea lazima niende platinum or this year I swear never be a player